Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Chris. I'm Chris Beery. I appreciate everybody for being here this morning. It's a Merry Christmas Eve, and I am excited to be here in my office this morning talking with you guys because I've just been fortunately having a great week in spite of some tough things that we were dealing with throughout last week and into early this week. But I've got some guys at my house right now working on my sewer, and they're getting that all fixed up. We've been having some issues, and with 5 kids, you don't want sewer line problems, so getting that taken care of is a load off of my mind for sure. But I had a conversation recently with my wife about this podcast and the message that I put out there and how it makes me feel and how I hope it makes others feel, because it's true to what I strive for, and it gives me an opportunity to stay accountable to the message I'm giving out. I can't be this person on this Facebook Live or on this podcast or YouTube video and not walk the walk. I can't talk about how I feel and on the inside feel comfortable acting differently, behaving differently. And I'm not to say that I'm not, prone to make a mistake. I catch myself letting my temper go, letting negative thoughts get in, saying something negative or saying something that I didn't mean, that was hurtful or not full of love for somebody. And all I'm saying is, by being a theorist, by being I don't know if you want to call it a lecturer or whatever, of what I believe is how the world works, it's given me an opportunity to focus in on what I believe allows me to be happy and successful, and it keeps me accountable. Because in my mind, when I say something mean, I go back and say, oh, is that really what I want to exist in my mind, to exist in my world? Is that what I wanted to verbalize today and make true? So what I consider it to be then is this act of speaking with you, delivering this message, and those of you who are listening to it, consuming this type of information is a type of theorism. You're ingesting the theory, you're listening, you're learning about the whats and the whys of why I believe that focusing in on your goals, your dreams, your blessings is gonna be most rewarding to your life than constantly trying to check and mitigate risks and problems and disease and all those types of things versus focusing on what's negative in the world and fear of it. It's almost always better to pursue and focus on what the world and your life has to offer you. So there's a book that I've read recently, and I'm in love, and I'll link the book in the description below. It's called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and it's a beautiful story about a young man who discovers how capable he is of influencing his world around him. And a couple of quotes that made me think of kind of this message of being a theorist, of listening, of absorbing, of delivering, and interacting with this type of message in this type of belief system, but not necessarily applying it. And I think that the lack of application comes from this same fear, this mitigating risk, making sure that, it's not the same mitigating risk that lets you put your seatbelt on, but it is the same mitigating risk that maybe keeps you from applying for a job that you don't think you'll get, or talking to someone that you don't think wants to talk to you, or approaching a relationship that is in desperate need of mending, of communication, of just getting something off of your chest. That fear that stops you comes from a fear of failure. And maybe it's your dream. Maybe it isn't your dream right now, but maybe part of your dream that you haven't considered is not what you will achieve in your life, but who you will become, such that you are able to achieve such great things. And so one of the quotes from The Alchemist, and I'll actually tie 2 quotes together because I think that they're very, they summarize the book very well, and why I believe it's worth the fiction read, why I think an adult should pick up a fiction book and read through it and learn from it. The quote goes, "There's only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve, and it's the fear of failure." The next quote then says that the secret of life, though, is to fall 7 times and to get up 8 times. And so the fear of failure, this fear of falling, this fear of being unsuccessful, of getting shot down, the fear of pain, the fear of discomfort, those are the things that you are supposed to be doing in your life. When we talk about theorism, to be a practitioner is to believe and have faith that you can get up 8 times for every 7 times that you fall. It's understanding that on the inside you are capable and that you are positive that your path forward belongs to you in your choices and your mindset. So instead of being fearful of failure, you should embrace it and understand that your failures are part of your process. That in order for you to get up 8 times for every 7 times you fall, you must fall 7 times. It's an opportunity for you to consider that it's great to feel positive, it's great to focus on what the world has to offer, but at the end of the day, don't be a theorist, be a practitioner. Get up, go do the things that scare you, because chances are if you're afraid of them, what you're really afraid of is failing. Maybe you don't want to go to the gym because you're afraid of the pain, you're afraid of failing at being able to exercise to the same level that maybe you once were, or that you wish you could someday. Instead of being afraid of that failure, go to the gym and start somewhere and let yourself fail, because that failure only gets you 1 step closer to where you need to be. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it paralyze you. Be a practitioner of what I believe is the mindset that should give you the type of happiness that you deserve in your life. It's everyone seems to have a clear idea of how other people should lead their lives, but none of them are his or her own. So don't take this as you have to be a positive person to be happy, but just understand that if happiness is something that you desire, it's a choice that you make now. And it's a choice that starts in theory, but that exists and lives with you and becomes part of your life in practice. You have to fail, and you have to fail forward. You have to make the difficult phone calls, have the difficult conversations with the people that mean something to you, or maybe people that used to mean something to you that you now need to let go because they aren't allowing you to grow and succeed and excel. So one of the things I want you to consider going into Christmas this year is being present in your moment, embracing the theory, embracing the fear that you can feel towards failing. Maybe this is your best Christmas ever. Maybe it's your worst Christmas ever. Maybe you're spending time with family this year and you're lucky, or maybe you're one of the unlucky ones who unfortunately doesn't get to spend time with their family because of what's going on in the world or any other circumstance. But take an opportunity to realize that there's so much that's in your control, and you have the opportunity to be a practitioner of positive belief, of a mindset towards failure that pushes towards success and beyond pain and discomfort and failure. You aren't here on this earth to fail. You are here to overcome and achieve. So, if this Christmas is your best Christmas ever, I'm glad to hear it. If you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or anything else, I just want you to know that I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful that this is a time of year when so many of us focus on the ones that we love the most. And whether you can be with them or not, I encourage you to reach out. Maybe it's someone you haven't talked to in a while, but that you still have love for. Wish them a Merry Christmas, or reach out to them and let them know that you're thinking about them this year. And let the positivity that you can share with them resonate in your world and bring you some happiness. And a way to practice what I preach is by making tough phone calls to people that maybe I haven't talked to in a while, and I feel guilty for not talking to them in a while, and I owe them an apology. And sometimes giving someone an apology opens a door to a relationship that can bring positivity back into your life. And so many people get hung up on who did what and who was wrong, when in all actuality, you have the opportunity, you have the choice to take ownership of a situation and understand that maybe if you give the apology, you still have the power to fix it. Maybe you aren't the one who owes the apology, but with your apology, you hold the key to changing your life for the better. Something to consider. Merry Christmas to everybody. I appreciate everyone being here. I will see you guys after Christmas Day. I'm going to spend that morning with my family, but I appreciate everybody who spends their time listening to this. Take the opportunity to love as many people as you can today. Practice what you understand is more than just theory. Being a positive person comes through action more than thought, comes through words more than thought. I want you to think about that today as you interact with your family and your loved ones. Thanks everybody for being here. See you on the next episode.